MLK is in hell, part 17. So is his dad. So like I said, he was prepped. He was obviously raised by his dad. I'm sure he's going to be trickling over his everything that he is going to trickle it over into his son. And so if Freemasons can't really say Jesus or refuse to say Jesus, it's interesting, like looking at the writing that he had with that Crozer paper, because he does say Jesus, but he's, instead of saying Jesus, he says Christ more often. I just found that kind of interesting in correlation. So you can be the judge on that. But anyway, yeah, so if we judge him by his character, it ain't looking too good. It ain't looking too good if we judge him by his character. Now, the stuff that he's said, all of these speeches that he's given everywhere, sounds great. But when you know the back end, the backstory of what's going on, don't look too great. And one other thing that I kind of wanted to mention a little bit about the certain cities or whatever that he went to. I like that Chad O had mentioned they went to another town, Albany, I think that he may have said, and the chief of police or somebody had been kind of studying and watching Martin Luther King and all their people, whatever, and he explains in detail how he was like, nah, we're not gonna let that happen in the city. So you can go watch that video. I ain't trying to plug nothing because it ain't like I'm getting paid for it or nothing, but I ain't gonna go into too much detail about it. But you definitely do see how it was orchestrated. We're gonna do this in this city because this is what more than likely gonna happen. Try to do it here, but that one didn't quite work because it caught on to us, type of a thing. Anyway, so man, it's crazy because it reminds me of the Bible where it talks about how you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And he said this so much, one of his most famous quotes: judge me by the content of my character. Look like you going to hell, buddy. The final eternal death. Live by the sword, die by the sword. These are your own words. Double-edged sword. Anyway, I want to go ahead and get into the dream that I had, y'all, because it just more to this. So I had this dream, and I want to paint the picture of it because it's, if you know, I'm not gonna say that. You'll figure. I don't need to say that. But in this dream, I was just gonna say I have dreams, and I'm just leave it at that. But in this particular dream, it's kind of like the setting was a place like, it looked like Fox Theater, like if you're going to see like a show and it's kind of dark, dimish, lights are low, and